You have to be able to treat this like, well, you treat it like an autoimmune issue generally, which in the carnivore world, you just put them on beef and water. And that's, I have a whole lecture on rethinking autoimmune disease and the real cause of autoimmune disease, looking at this and actually arguing that this is actually not an autoimmune condition. It's actually lectins and plant toxins that are attacking your body, and then your body attacks those lectins, and your or changing something on those cells, so now they attack those cells. But once and your cells get damaged in the crossfire. Once those lectins are away, just like in celiac disease, celiac is considered an autoimmune condition, but it's also called a gluten-mediated autoimmune disease because gluten is a lectin, and these lectins are proteins with a carbohydrate substructure, and they bind to all sorts of different things on our cells, and they cause it glutination. So your villi in the stomach, in your gut, where they absorb a lot of, increase the surface area, so you can absorb a lot more nutrients. They'll stick them together, and they'll agglutinate. They'll make them stick together. So lectins are agglutinins, meaning they stick to cells. They make all those cells clump together, and that can elicit an immune response, and then that can damage those cells even further. But when you remove the gluten, you remove those lectins, the damage stops and your body stops attacking that area. And after 4 to 6 weeks, the gut is completely healed. Even though the antibodies can stay elevated celiac antibodies can stay elevated for over 3 years after your last exposure to gluten. And those antibodies go slowly down, slowly down, slowly down, like it would with any sort of pathogen that it's not seen in a while. Slowly start coming down. Then they see that pathogen again, bam, it's up again. And then slowly down again. That's what it does with gluten. So no gluten is just slowly down, slowly down. Maybe 2 years later, all of a sudden you eat some gluten and bam, they're back up again. And you get all this damage. But even then, after you stop eating the gluten, even though those antibodies are elevated, you're not getting any damage. And so that's not an autoimmune condition. Your body is not attacking itself because your body is still there. And yet it doesn't attack itself. Okay, so it's actually attacking the lectins, or the lectins are doing something to them to cause that attack. And I think that's what's happening with all other autoimmune conditions.